Hey, peace, world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind Sports and Entertainment video. My name is Wood. Let me get right into it. The Shy, Episode 5, Terror Town. The synopsis or the description of this episode was an unexpected visit threatens Trigg's battle for custody of Jake. Battle. That seems a bit of an overstatement. What battle is really going on? Um, I watched Queen and Slim last week, and just one thing that I'm noticing that's very difficult, that's irritating, and just lazy, is so all of the cliche and the stereotyping that I see in Lena Waithe's. I know she didn't write this, or I'm pretty sure she didn't write this episode, but I just don't understand how the teams go back and watch some of this stuff and don't see how like low hanging fruit it is, or low hanging fruit ish it is. Here we have Jada with the hot sauce in her bag. Like I thought we were past that, but okay. But anyway, I'm just gonna jump into a couple of things. I guess if I had to really put a title on this video besides the review, I guess my main question would be how many people are kind of out at this point now that you've seen that Kiesha is still alive. Is the rest of the show like a wash for you? I mentioned this on Reddit. I had commented on somebody's Reddit last week, I believe, one of the threads, and just said that I was expecting to be seeing, like, if Kiesha wasn't dead, that I was expecting to see snippets of her somewhere struggling or something. So this week we get that. We get proof of life. And I gotta admit, I mean, this show, I would be interested to see who directed this show or who wrote this show versus the others, because it just seems completely different. It just has such a different feel to it. And I think I think it was kind of done in a sloppy fashion, in my opinion. But let's get into, like I said, this cliche stuff. Maisha calling and referring to Jim as a bitch multiple times, and Gemma says, "Don't call me out my name." But after the third or fourth bitch, she just basically accepts the fact that she's a bitch. And then we have Jake and Kevin constantly like Kevin stepping to Jake, all to go see this haunted house or something, or haunted high school, whatever it was. Kind of cliche. I mean, it's another cliche angle, or part of a story. Um, the power goes out there, and in a certain part of the city, the power is out. Okay. And then when they have to leave there, Gemma says, "I'm not." She offered or wants to go and walk down St. Lawrence, I think was the street, but she says, "I'm not scared of my people." Based on who her father was, and where his standing, and where I would expect where she goes to school, it's not that you should be scared of your people, but this is just senseless. And then, of course, moments later, as she's walking down, and guns are getting fired, and people are standing out in the streets and whatnot, she says, "I'm scared." Okay. Did Emmett leave behind the money when they were selling the food? First of all, when the power goes out, like, why not just wrap up for the night? And at this point, I mean, the catering business is dead. Brandon's whole thing is dead. Whatever he's trying to do with Dominique, it's now short lived, because Sonny showed up and said, "Get the F out of my establishment." And he was basically aware of what was going on. And this is all just, like I said, everybody just struggles. Nobody on the show wins. But did he just leave the money behind and unattended when he goes over to talk to Dominique? Like, what are you out here for if it's not to make money? And I'm sorry, I mean, I'm not trying to stereotype the people at this gathering, at what became like a nightclub setting or a house party or something. But I just don't see people standing around and watching the money, the cash box that's unattended and not locked, and it doesn't disappear. I don't see that happening. Another quick note here: you just made up at home with Tiff and had a great night. Why are you now flirting with Dominique? Like you're not focused on business at this point. I just kind of don't get that. Then Sonny comes in. Earlier in the show, he had said Sonny told him, somebody told me that they saw you going out of here at 2:00 in the morning, and Emmett says, "Well, I left my keys." Well, how did you get your keys if you left your keys? Just silliness, man. How did you get in the spot if you left your keys? You didn't lock up to begin with? Okay. But anyway, that kind of let you know that Sonny knew what was going on. Another, like I said, some more, these two things right here is where like black people don't know how to interact with non-black people. Jada, another cliche thing, this whole meet the parents part, we saw this in Power with Lala, incidentally. But Jada goes to meet Tomas's parents after 7 days, 10 days, maybe one date. Y'all a couple already, holding hands. This 39-year-old black woman is going to meet the family. I mean, I get it. If you having a cookout and you just, hey, I want to take you by there, which it was a cookout, but just in the way it was presented to us, it's just corny to me. Like, but again, Jada gets here and she's awkward again. She's odd. She's feeling odd again. She doesn't really fit in. And the brother of Tomas and his mother, they quickly throw this stuff on, a major, some major issues onto Jada with his wife being dead. Again, everybody takes a step forward, then they take 2 or 3 back. By the end of the night, this relationship that was looking so promising is now, very fragile because she's uncomfortable with his family. And then they told her that his wife was dead, that had passed away. So now here it is. Jada might be starting, but Tomas wants to work it out again. Okay. Then the next thing that was kind of again very stereotypical and very cliche is that the battle for custody is actually the DCFS woman coming to inspect the place where Trig and Imani live. I don't understand this. What the hell does Trig do for what is he doing to earn money? We see Imani doing some hair. But the lady comes in and Trig loses it. Why I gotta explain this to you? That's my family. Like if you were going through the process and you were aware of the custody situation, that what his mom had done to give Jake to Otis Perry, like why can't you now sit here and communicate with this woman to get what you're trying to get? Then also, I just don't understand. This isn't where you're going to be living. It's not the permanent residence. So what is the purpose of this? And then, and I guess, it wasn't a scheduled visit or anything. So I guess the outlet hanging out of the wall, which was again, you just walking by with an outlet hang. It just seemed okay. But the lady tried to, the visit, the lady just tried to say, hey, just get your stuff in order. He goes to say they're married when they weren't married. She's doing a bit, or Imani is trying to do hair out of the house. These are obvious things. And then to turn around and get upset that these things could get in the way and that they need to be corrected. Okay. Again, just kind of a time waste, in my opinion. Another stereotypical thing, maybe the younger people love this, but the office sex between Otis Perry and his wife. Candy. Um, I'm not trying. I'm 45. I'm not 75, but nobody even knew who Otis Perry's wife was. His secretaries and assistants, everybody on his campaign, nobody even knew who this woman was last week. We didn't even know what they were, or what kind of a marriage this was. But Gemma's dad points out in the crowd, "Hey, I see your wife over here working for you." How the hell did he know who she was? We haven't met her in 2 seasons. But okay, I guess he's a money man and an influential figure in the city, so it's his business to know everything, I guess. But there's no chemistry between Otis Perry and, I don't even know if they've said her name yet, but just no chemistry between these two. And the scene, after he lets off, just stereotypical, just lazy, simple stuff. He's all going down on her on the desk and whatnot, but she obviously has, her underwear on, and it just shot poorly in my opinion, in terms of attention to detail. Then lastly, like, Jake has been a couple times in the show, in the episode when they were going through the high school or whatever, the abandoned building. Jake wants it to be known that I'm a street dude, I'm street savvy, I'm street smart. But as soon as he sees some violence from Otis Perry to beat this man up in the back, when Big Mike sent him the text message for painting his signs, Jake runs off. Like, he didn't see worse or equal kind of violence when Reg was checking his different gang members and his underlings and whatnot. He's seen this before, but now he's so shook that he runs all the way over to Trigg's house. Okay, how was the record player working? There was no power. They had the lamps and everything going on, and Perry goes over to the record player to put on some album, some jazz album. Devon Freeman or something. Okay. No big deal there. Now, my other question with this is, he made this little speech about we need to show that a crisis is an opportunity for us to come together as a community. You're sitting in here with Jake in the office. How are you providing any aid to the people in the community who would have come in to use the facilities or whatever, or to just be there? I didn't really, again, attention to detail. And then my last note was just Kiesha's kidnapper. Ursie's talking about, like I said, this just seems like a completely different story here. And I understand this individual probably has some mental issues going on and whatnot. But he's sitting here feeding her and has the tracksuits, which leads me to believe he has some connection to the school. But he says, you were looking like a slut when I found you. But then he has the motion sensor cameras and whatnot following her around in the basement, and he's watching her go to the bathroom and calling himself daddy, and says, "Smile for daddy." So I don't know. Just, again, my whole question for this thing is, like, are you done? I know Kiesha's not dead now. I might be willing to not even find out. I'm assuming that she makes it home, and maybe I don't even need to tune in to figure out what's going on, or to figure out what the end of this season is. It just seems like a wash to me. I don't think I have anything else to say. It was kind of I don't know. I felt some kind of way, I guess, about Emmett and Sonny blowing up on him the way that he did. But that whole storyline, just, I'm going to go in here and steal some chicken. I got this lady, I'm going to try to serve her some food so she gives us a good Yelp review or blogs or whatever. It just seems all over the place, man. I mean, it just seems like a lot of stuff has just gone off the rail. And It was odd not to see Tiff this week. It was odd not to see Nina and Dre. But they did show the developments with Kiesha and whatnot, so I get that. But I don't know, man. I see the fans out there to say this is the best season yet, or the show is going somewhere, and they love it, and people still love the show and whatnot. But and then the close. You mean to tell me that in the middle of Chicago, inner city Chicago, a huge city with millions of people, in the middle of a blackout with people doing everything under the moon during the blackout, there's a female screams, and Ronnie is within earshot and just knows that female is Kiesha. Now, I don't even have to mention about Kiesha being a track star or running track cross country, and to get out of the house, struggling to get out of the house, and then falls down to rejoice and being outside of her captivity, and allowing herself to be grabbed up and dragged back in the house. But I guess that's the way to have a cliffhanger, I guess. But I would have thought she would have ran to like Lake Michigan, to get to preserve herself and her safety and whatnot. I don't know, man. I might just be a hater. That's it, man. Let me get on off here. Peace.